Morning. I'm Rob Grabiel. I'd like to take the time today that Charles gave to me and use it to talk about music. I'm 41 years old. I've spent all 41 of those years coming to this church. I grew up singing in the choir with Mary Feldmeyer and Chris Hall as our choir directors. I moved away after college, but I came home to church during the holidays, listening to Doris play Vider's Toccata, singing Christmas hymns at the 11 p.m. Christmas Eve service. And for the past 10 years, I've attended regularly with my beautiful wife, Carolyn, and our 3 children, Julianne, Lauralee, and Eddie. And when I look back on all these years and think, what about the church has impacted me and my family the most? It's an easy answer. It's the music. My parents, Jeff and Luann Grabiel, started me on piano lessons at an early age, and now that I'm a parent having my own kids take lessons, I know how much of a struggle it must have been to get me to practice all those years. But I practiced begrudgingly sometimes, and when I was maybe 15 or 16, my dad volunteered my services to our Reverend Matt Hook, the church's youth minister at the time. He was organizing a group for high school kids at the church, and for those of you who were here that had teenagers during the late 90s at our church, you might remember the group. It was called Saturday Night Praise, which of course was our youth group's version of Saturday Night Live, full of faith-based humorous skits and of course the Saturday Night Praise band, which after Matt Hook's encouragement, I was lucky enough to be a part of as the keyboardist. I mentioned the story in particular because that experience really led me to a life that has been rich with music. And Carolyn and I have both been so blessed by God and by this church to be able to bring music to other people's lives, especially our children who, along with so many other children at our church, are involved in our Spark and choir programs. These programs are so amazing. Kim Bowyer, Beth Torrey, Susan, Tiffany, Doris, Casey, so many others that I don't have time to mention today, but so they do such a wonderful job creating an environment that brings our kids closer to Jesus. They inspire our kids to be creative, to be thoughtful, to be musical, to serve God, to serve our community through music. And it's through this musical lens that I want to stress the importance of this year's generosity campaign. As a member of our church's investment committee, I've been intimately involved for the past 7 years in managing our church's resources. And while I can tell you that we still remain on solid footing, it is certainly we are certainly still dependent on your continued generosity and giving of not just your financial gifts, but giving of your time and talents as well. Your giving has an immeasurable, some might say limitless, impact on the lives of our children and our community. It allows this church to continue its rich history of using music to bring happiness and God to people's lives. And so I'll end with one more musical anecdote. My oldest daughter, just the other day, Julianne, was already getting excited about Christmas. And I asked her, well, so what's your favorite part about Christmas? And kind of fully expecting to hear her say something about presents or about Holly, who is our elf on the shelf. But instead, she said, Daddy, I really love singing Christmas songs at church on Christmas Eve. I think that's my favorite part. Music is contagious, and I think your generosity can be contagious too. Thank you.